Alright, GZ gang, how you boys doing? I hope you boys are all doing okay. So, today's video we are going to be discussing about ideas for GPO. Now, these ideas range from anything, and I'm really going to be freeballing. The reason why I want to freeball this is because not really one for writing scripts, one, and two, I just kind of like to think on the spot. I don't know, it feels more natural to me. Feels more natural, and I hate when things feel forced. I'm not a forced type of guy, you know what I'm saying? Alright, cool. So the first idea is the one I've mentioned before, and it's actual dungeons. Actual dungeons, not the dungeon game mode we have in GPO. That's not a dungeon, that is a wave system. That's essentially anime tower defense, except GPO version. I kid you not, it's essentially that. I'm talking about real dungeons. An example of this would be a game named Vestria. I played way back when Alpha Beta was around, and I slowly started getting into it again to play on streams because it's fun playing with everyone. Dungeons. There's many different dungeons in Vestria, but the one we're at right now is Spider Queen. Now, Vestria isn't a dungeon game, it just has dungeons in the game. Vestria is an MMORPG, and well, we could just call it RPG because it is Roblox, and it does the genre right. RPGs aren't meant to be mindless bandit beaters, they're meant to be enjoyable, you know, leveling and questing. And between those questing and leveling, there's gonna be bosses, there's gonna be dungeon raids, etc. So in this dungeon, I'm gonna explain the Vestria system and how GPO could incorporate that. So in Vestria, I'm gonna show background footage as well. In Vestria, there's like 5 or 6 different stages, and each of those stages you do different tasks in order to move on to the next stage. The first stage is you defeat all the spiders within that room in order to advance in the second stage. You have to go inside different caverns inside the cave in order to collect missing pieces to a bridge, and once that bridge is built, the bridge will wind itself up and you run along the bridge, go to the other side, bow. In the next stage you defeat all the spiders in the room, and then you get a little mini boss, and then the stage after that it's like a parkour stage, etc. I'm not going to explain all the stages, but you get the gist of it. And then in the final stage you actually defeat the Spider Queen, and then that boss drops many different items. So in the game there are scrolls, and there's different types of scrolls, but the scrolls that you're really looking out for are curse scrolls. Curse scrolls have a chance is a 60% chance to enchant your weapon. So the scrolls enchant your weapon, and there's a percentage chance is if you fail, your weapon will get destroyed, and there's another percentage chances if you fail, it won't destroy your weapon. So it has a chance to destroy your weapon, and if you pass, you get the benefits. Now, I'm pretty sure a curse scroll can range between 4 to 7 plus in attack, so your weapon gets enchanted obviously, and you can upgrade your weapon like 6 or 7 times, so you can really make your weapon like legendary if you're a lucky person, and the risk is at your own hand. So the Spider Queen has a chance to drop scrolls, it drops money, it drops spider eggs. Spider eggs is the important one. So spider eggs is the currency you use in order to actually buy things for that dungeon instance. So you run into a cave before you actually go into the Spider Queen lair and actually do the dungeon. There's a, let's call it a hub, right? And it's not an instance hub, you're on the map and you run into this area, and in this area you can use Spider Queen eggs to buy Spider Queen armor, Spider Queen weapons for each class. Each class has Spider Queen weapons. I'll show you guys. And you can buy curse scrolls, etc. So there's a lot of things that Spider Queen eggs have value for, which means you're not mindlessly grinding for a 1% chance at something, which means, and 1% means, even 5% means you can grind it 500 times and still get nothing. There's a chance you could get nothing. So you're grinding, you know what you're grinding for. At the end of each raid, you could probably get anywhere between 1 to about 7 or 8 eggs. Is random. Pretty sure it depends. It varies on how much damage you do, and you keep doing that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's fun to do. Back when the dungeon first came out, back when it was beta, it was really hard to do, because it was really hard to do. I'm not gonna lie. They dumbed it down now. It was really hard to do back then, and it was so hard to the point where they had to increase the amount of time people had to do the dungeon. I kid you not. It seems easy now, but back then it was really hard. And you know, I'm gonna brag a little bit. My squad set the world record. We were like 5th place on fastest run times. I'll put a screenshot there for you, but probably been over. It's probably been done now like 1,000 times over. The game's easier now, so obviously someone's obviously, you know, throwing it out the park. But yeah, what other things can GPO add into the game? Oh, and if GPO implemented something like that, it would be so cool. Like, let's say we're getting New World update 4, right? Let's say there's an area in Alabasta. I don't know. Maybe we're getting Alabasta, maybe we're not. I don't know what areas are coming. Let's say there's an area in Alabasta, some sort of sand pyramid. There's a pyramid. This would make sense. It is a sandy, desert-y type of place. Let's say there's a period, and in this pyramid, you run inside there, and there's a central hub. There's an NPC there to teleport your party into the dungeon. I don't want it to be instance based, because that will split the player base. That'll make, like how you have to go into the universal hub to go into the trading center and to do Coliseum PvP. Scrap that. We don't want instance based. We want it in game so it flows naturally, right? So you can go on public servers and find actual random people there. You know what I mean? It's different. It's nice. It's cool. So you go into this sand dune dungeon place, or the pyramid. There's an NPC to teleport your party into the dungeon, and then you have an NPC, let's call it Sand Shop, the Sand Shop. And the Sand Shop has its own currency, and the only way to actually get the Sand currency is to defeat the boss, and the boss drops a set amount of Sand currency for every player. Not a set amount, but a random amount, just varying on whatever percentage chance RNG it drops. And for you, that doesn't mean make the Sand currency 1% drop. Make it so it drops every time you do the raid, so players can keep grinding it, because they know they're gonna get what they want eventually. Not there's a chance I might never ever get this item. You know what I mean? Have players have something to look forward to. If a player can see, okay, I have this amount of things, and I want this, and I need this amount, and every time I do this I get between this amount and this amount. They can see their progress. They can track the progress, so they know, okay, I need to do it about 20 more times, and I'll be able to not, oh, I'm gonna do this 20 more times and I might not even get the drop. You know what I mean? You need to have players, they need to be able to visualize their progress. I don't know if I, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you get the memo there. So yeah, cool. And the Sand Shop, make it have a variety of different things there. Now I know GPO doesn't have enchantments or any sort of crafting or blah blah blah. But you know, it would be nice if we could, you know, do something. I don't know. Anyways, hopefully an RPG out there hears this. Hopefully a developer that's making an RPG hears these ideas and implements them into the game or something. But yeah, that's one idea. What's another idea? World bosses. World bosses. Why isn't there world bosses in GPO, man? Why is there not world bosses? Now, I know GPO is an RPG, but it doesn't have a lot of RPG elements into the game. A lot of RPGs, you're able to craft weapons. I don't know an RPG that you're not able to enchant your weapons. Like Black Desert Online, Maple Story, what's another, Terra. All of these RPGs, these big MMO RPGs, weapon enchantment is a thing. Weapon crafting is a thing. Why is it not a thing in GPO that's so reliant on weapons? Anyways, yeah, maybe there could be a world boss, you know, that spawns at a set location every hour. That would be really cool. And set location could be somewhere around the map, or it could actually be some cavern in the new sea, second sea, and every hour, every 45 minutes it will spawn, but it only spawns in public servers. So private server people don't have access to this boss, so you have to go on a public server to beat up the boss. And this boss drops, I don't know, GPO is different because there's not a lot you can do, because it doesn't have, you know, items players can benefit from that it would drop. But I don't know, maybe you can do something with that. I don't know, because in other games, quote unquote Vestria, there's a Yeti that spawns every hour, and it has a chance to drop a legendary item, and it drops other stuff, scrolls, potions, money, blah blah blah. And in Vestria, money is actually useful. Yeah, but in GPO, Pelly isn't useful. So if a monster drops Pelly, I don't think anyone would care. But could do something with that. I don't know, not too sure. We could, you know, think of something. Yeah, this monster spawn public servers, drop items, or has a percentage. I guess we gotta stick to GPO formula. Has a percentage chance to drop something, and make it so in this area people can't just grip people. Make it like a safe zone, but you can fight the monster inside of it, because you're not gonna invite everyone into a party, all right? And people are just gonna take advantage of this to grip other people. So make it so on this island you can't grip other players, like an actual safe zone island, but there's monsters on this island, and the boss that spawns every hour, you know what I mean? It would make sense. Now, do have a bunch of other ideas. I'm not gonna lie, I have a bunch of other ideas, but don't really want to make this video too long. We're already about 14 minutes in. But yeah, one thing I will say is another idea for the game. Maybe take an update to revamp the game a little bit. Yes, I'm talking PvP. I don't know, I'm talking PvP and talking the whole shebang. This is just an idea I'm throwing out there. I know it might be a lot, and a lot of the player base might not agree with this, because everyone's used to GPO, how GPO is. Revamp the game. Make quests actually give a decent amount of EXP when doing, because now that I've made my alt account, I've kind of realized how slow leveling is. It's kind of slow. Leveling's really slow. It's weird. Leveling is real. I didn't notice this because I always use ×2 EXP, and maybe the leveling is like that, so it incentivizes people buying double XP. But at the same time, it's kind of tedious for new players. Now, I never realized how slow it was until I made my new account. But even on my other old account, I used ×2 EXP. So, you know, it's a bit weird. It's definitely a bit weird how even, okay, at lower levels, it shouldn't take that long. There's no RPG game where you're low level and it takes 50 years to get to a higher level. So let's say from level 1 to about level 60, 70, 80, you shouldn't have to do a quest 4 times to level up once. I would understand once you get to the hundreds, because in every RPG game, the higher level you are, leveling gets slower. Doesn't get tediously slow like it does in GPO, but it gets slower. Why does it take me an hour to gain 10 levels? What? And my alt account's level 75. I shouldn't be at shells for that long. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Another thing that needs a revamp, I don't know, sit down and revamp the PvP a little bit. Maybe add more items around the map, add new swords, add new items, make a use for guns. Shit, make like a crafting system, add like 10 or 20 items you can make through crafting. Make a GPO an actual pirate One Piece RPG, not a bandit beater, an RPG, bro. Like, this game has potential, but I don't feel like the necessary steps were taken. If you make GPO an actual RPG, it would be great. It would be great. Like a revamp. Maybe not for the lower level, because it's a bit too late for lower level players to explore all of that, because most of the player base, because it's a closed access game, a paid access game, most of the player base is already maxed. I say most of the player base is maxed. So maybe in future updates, add like a higher level crafting system. We can like mine materials in order to craft weapons, make a variety of different weapons, like maybe 10 or 20 different weapons players can use and that have their own type of skills and damage output sets, blah blah blah. And add some sort of like enchantments, I don't know. And yeah, I feel like weapons should be enchanted and armor can be enchanted, etc. It would be really nice to see this, bro. Not just a bandit beater. It would make GPO go from a bandit beater to an actual RPG. It would be crazy if these sort of things could be implemented. But again, I know this is asking for a lot and it's easier said than done. But if after update 4, make update 4 as big as possible, as good as possible, right? I mean, update 4 is only adding 2 fruits, so it's kind of lame. But if update 4 had a variety of actual good playable content, made like update 5, 6, take like 3-4 months, because we're gonna have other games to play with in that time, so it won't be an issue. Take like 3 or 4 months to like revamp the game. Just like revamp it. Maybe I'm talking too much. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is just me speaking from high hopes. This video's gone on too long and I haven't even finished what I wanted to say. That's why I said. Anyways, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. I don't want to talk for 30 minutes, honestly. I don't think you guys want to hear that. Appreciate you boys that stayed to the end of the video. Just wanted to get my ideas out there so I can actually sleep in peace, because I still have a whole bunch of ideas. I know there are other things that you could do in the game, like crew ship battles and ship fights and gunfights, capture the flag, blah blah blah. But to make all of those work, would be weird with GPL system. I guess ship firing could be a thing, but we haven't actually had any new viable ships in the game, so clearly not. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.